fell into my trap. Hey guys, it is Psypris, and let me just go ahead and say, elephant in the room, I am recording this voiceover after having played. So yes, this is me, this is my gameplay. It's just not coinciding with the audio like I usually do, which is also why you don't see my face. I was going to go ahead and record my face, but you know what? Sometimes you just gotta jump into it, and it's not perfect. Going forward, I can already tell I like to record while I'm speaking, while I'm playing, so I'm going to get back into that. That's what this episode is all about. I'm going to be updating you on everything and trying to get back at it. So first, let me just kind of go through what you will be seeing. Obviously, if you pay attention to the gameplay, it's proof that it's me because I kind of suck.
It's your lucky day, good Bobby. Step right here.
I'm looking for the man at the top. The very top.
I'm running a business here. You want my time? You got a bet just like everyone else.
Fine. You're lucky I'm not in the mood to make a scene. Yet.
Pick your fighter, place your bet, enjoy your winnings.
Come on, go get it!
What? You won.
I've played your little game. Now talk. Where can I find Abbas?
He likes to keep a close eye on the business, you know?
Where is Abbas?
Hell, I honestly have no idea.
You like betting, huh? Let's bet on how many punches I give you before you have permanent brain damage.
Wait, what?
You're a big guy. I'm thinking between 30 and 40.
Okay, talk with Madame Rue. She runs the brothel and she knows everything about everyone. Tell her I sent you and she won't be afraid to talk.
Good.
I am a bit better at it when I am not recording for entertaining purposes. I get caught less because I do take more time to sit there and pause and stuff, but I'm still not good. So just as a reminder, if you're watching this as a series, first of all, my apologies if you were, because it has been about 9 months since the last Sniper Ghost Whisperer. I'm never going to get it right. I know it's Warrior. I just like to say Whisperer.
So, how about we go somewhere more fun? You feel a bit lonely, monsieur? I know what ails you, and I have the perfect remedy. You'll need a woman. Or two. Take your pick.
I'm not interested in that. Bookie told me that you can help me. I'm looking for Abbas.
Honey, I'll tell you what. I'll set up a meeting with a friend who might know something. In the meantime, why don't you take a break? Relax.
Thank you, ma'am, but
You know you want it. There's a bed upstairs. Very, very comfy. Find some company and enjoy yourself for a few hours.
where is Avas?
There's someone who will know where Avas is. His right hand in business.
I'm listening.
My girls had a man, known as Vasilisk. He has been talking with some of the boys at the barracks about how old Avas is and ill-suited to lead the business right now.
It's not enough.
Maybe he knows something about Avas.
Anyway, so just as a kind of a recap, I had to replay the last mission that we saw. I got that blue screen that had this weird error message, and I was going to be petty and put it up here. It doesn't matter. It needed a restart. So I did do the restart. I did the update that it was requesting, and so I replayed that, and I did do that mission off camera. Honestly, it was just because literally it had been 9 months since I played the PlayStation at all. I will again get back into that a little bit more, but just sticking with the gameplay, I had not played with that controller in 9 months. I forgot all of the buttons. So I was like, let me go ahead and just do it first. And then once I realize how to friggin' play the game again, I can start recording. That's what this one is. Then I was like, okay, I'm ready. I can kind of record, but I wasn't mentally prepared to kind of entertain at the same time, if that makes sense. And it's something that I have to deal with, and I might get into that a little bit later. I think I might just cover that in the next episode. And sorry, yeah, I have my phone on not silent because I'm technically supposed to be working right now. So if you are from my company, I caught up on all of my work and I'm just waiting for updates. So I have my email right here, and if I need to stop, I will. But I don't have, my projects are waiting on other people, so I have free time. So that's why I decided to get a jump on this.
It's over, Vasilisk. Let the old man go.
I agree with the American. I really think you should listen to...
Shut up.
Okay.
Mr. North, how lucky for us to meet again. Drop the weapon.
You must be fucking kidding.
It was worth a try. It seems you have me in a bit of a spot. So, how about we play a little game?
Fuck your games.
Jonathan, you don't get it. I'm in control. Now, there are 3 of us, and 3 rounds in this pistol. If the old man dies, you get to ask me all about Robert North. If you die, the old man walks.
And you?
I'll be dead. Of course, you could shoot me now and save the old man. But deep down you want to know about your brother. Don't you? Exactly. Shall we begin? 1. Congratulations, old man. You live to annoy another day. 2. That's twice now, Mr. North. Don't you think your luck has to run out sometime? I'm sorry, but you don't get to play. 3.
Grandfather, are you all right?
Grandfather?
Yes, my dear, yes. I'm well.
This is your grandfather?
Yes. This old bastard is all I have.
I'm in your debt, friend. Anything I can do? Name your price.
I need to know everything about Vasilisk and the people he's working with.
Well, seeing as I am no longer in immediate danger, I'll be only too happy to help. But let's get out of here first. I haven't been outside for days.
So again, I went through that mission. I successfully played that mission. There is a bug, and I don't remember. I think back in the last game, I was having this issue where I couldn't switch my weapons. I couldn't switch the weapons. So I played that whole mission that I had to redo, and I didn't record it. So of course it's like, pics or it didn't happen. But just know, I beat that mission using only my sidearm pistol. Yeah. I didn't use a sniper rifle. I didn't use the AK. I just used a pistol. And it was what I thought was happening, there is a glitch in Sniper 3 Ghost Warrior.
Come down. This man saved my life. He killed that rat-shit traitor Basilisk. Everyone involved in this pathetic little cool play with his blood. And as for this man, he's a most honored guest.
Sniper Elite Ghost Warrior 3, whatever the hell the name is, where there is an issue with the weapons system, and it's just not like equipping properly. That is actually not what was happening. As I had said before, it had been 9 months since I last played, and I just straight up forgot that you hit the triangle button pretty fast to switch your weapons, and if you double tap it, you get your pistol. Yeah, I spent a stupid amount of time not knowing that, and so but it was also really funny because every time the game, like, I died and I had to come back, it would give me a different weapon. So it was really weird. So I'd come back and I have my AK. So this mission that I'm playing now, where you can see me doing, like, the sniping, whatever. The very first time I had it, I just had the AK. So I couldn't zoom in. I couldn't do my friggin' sniper mission with the AK. And so I died really completely. But that's when I was like, you know what? I gotta look this up. Otherwise, I literally cannot play this game. And that's when I found that I was being an idiot. Which doesn't really surprise any of us, does it? But yeah. So that kind of catches you up in this gameplay, what I am doing. Now, again, I did write in the just the text box caption, the controller, because I didn't record my mic, like speaking. It didn't record the controller speak. So the story of this mission is kind of messed up, unfortunately, because you can't hear half of the conversation that he's having. So all you hear is the guy going like, "Oh, really? Is that so?" Like responding to somebody that's not there. So that kind of sucks, which is also why the next time I record, I'm going to try to have the microphone. But again, as I said, it had been so long, I just needed to kind of get back on the horse, and then figure out that it wasn't a horse, it was actually a bike. So now that I've got that, I think I'm good there. I did write down a note, just so you know, if you actually give a shit about how I'm playing. Off camera, I cut it out. I did record it, but it was like, it's boring for you guys just to watch. I did do upgrades, so I did upgrade my weapons, mostly got the silencer on all of them, and like fixed them as they were like dying or whatever, so I keep up with that. And I did get the medium protective gear on me, and then I've also been updating the sniper, ghost, and warrior, like the skill slots, where like you can, like, real descriptive, I know, but I don't know how much you guys actually care. So obviously I'm not watching the gameplay while I'm recording this because I don't want to get distracted and it not be entertaining to you. So just to let you guys know, I couldn't figure out how to unequip my gun. And so when we go into that neutral area, which I think is the first thing you guys are watching, I didn't know if when I pointed my gun at people, if they would see that as like aggression and then like attack me. So that's why I equipped the rock, because I'm like, well, at least it's usually non-fatal. I think you use that mostly to get like people's attention elsewhere. All right, I think that's it in terms of the gameplay. So now I can just kind of talk freely, I guess. So, yeah, so the last video on this channel was 6 months ago. But those were really, there was like 2 that were just kind of like updating everybody. So really the last video, the last gameplay was of this sniper game 9 months ago, around Thanksgiving of 2023, which again is kind of, I stopped playing because of the having, because of that bug. So I had to restart. And then life happened. So I'm just kind of gonna go into, like, I guess a recap. I wrote down some notes to remind myself of this year. It has been a roller coaster of a year. And I think I updated you guys somewhat in those two, short videos, but I was trying to keep the personal stuff separate because I know, playing this and recording is kind of like therapy for me, but not everyone cares about that. That's why, only certain people watch, my gameplay. So yeah, so we started in December. We decided to foster, and originally I signed up to help foster this senior dog for, I think it was going to be like 2 days, maybe it was 2 weeks. It was just going to be a couple of days because he had to switch from like a kill shelter to his foster, but they couldn't get him in time, that kind of thing. So he needed like a 3 to 4 day buffer. So I saw that, so that's why I signed up to be a foster to assist with that. Well, by the time I got through all the foster paperwork, they had already found a volunteer to help with that dog, which is great. And they responded, and FellHarbor was listed as well, and they contacted her and said, can you foster a puppy for 2 weeks instead? And so she asked me, and I said, wow, that'd be really cute, just like a little puppy for 2 weeks. Yeah, sure, we can do that. That then turned into 2 puppies. So I go pick them up, and I remember choosing the one who is now Cammy because we really liked her coat. And then we were also handed one of her brothers, Nick. I don't know if he's been renamed, but we only had him 2 weeks, maybe it was closer to a month. We got special permission to travel because originally we weren't going to have him that long and we were leaving for the holidays. But when they said, hey, can you watch these 2 puppies? We were like, well, we can, but we're traveling. So we got approval to take them with us. They did not socialize. We were very, very careful with, what they saw and everything. So they didn't really even see that many other dogs, the ones that they'd be living with us. So, it was a safe thing that we did. But and then shortly after that, Nick did get adopted, but Noelle was her name at the time. No one really wanted her. And so that kind of leads us into January, where, on New Year's Eve, Roxy Hero, also known as Hirojin, proposed. And so we got engaged. So we were working on getting in touch with my church to get the wedding stuff set up, and that took a lot longer than I was anticipating just to get someone to respond to me. Things are moving they move very slowly than in the corporate world, so that was all occurring at the same time that we decided to be foster failures and keep Noelle, and we renamed her Camilla Noelle. And she goes by Cammy for short. Just to clarify, no, she's not named after the vice president. That's Kamala. This is Camilla, Camilla. Not saying, not making any kind of a political thing. It's just every time they hear her name, they're like, Kamala? And so I'm like, no, just like how Cecily isn't Sicily, Italy. It's Cecily. So, just letting you guys know that. So we started doing the marriage prep courses, which is a prerequisite / requirement to get married in the church, which is very important to me. I don't really talk about my faith all that often. I try to not exclude people, and I know anyone from all walks of life and all different faiths can enjoy video games, and so I try not to talk politics or religion, but it is something important to me. And a hero, I guess I can just call him Andre. I think everyone knows each other's real names. My real name is Carrie. And so he's all for it. He really supports that, and I appreciate that. So we had to do a lot of homework, and a lot of homework, because I also had to do what I refer to as vagina monologues. And again, I won't get TMI with it unless you guys really want to know, but I think our audience tends to skew more younger and male, so I don't... yeah, I don't want to get too involved in it. But if you are curious, we were both supposed to do the natural family planning. The course was intense because it took a long time. I had to record my temperature every single day. I had to record sensations and do a tissue check, which sounds exactly like, it is exactly what it sounds like. So I just had to really be in tune with my body, check on things with my eyes, that kind of stuff, and jot it all down and then send it to a woman. So it was really weird, just kind of tracking again, because there is a long time there where women are rather infertile in their cycle, and so it just kind of goes through all of that. And I can talk more on it if you guys are interested, but I really don't want to make people feel uncomfortable, so I'll just leave it there. Just know that it was really stressful because I had to check my temperature every day at the exact same time, so like 7:30 on the dot, because they were like, your body temperature can change after every 10 minutes after 7:30. I don't know why 7:30 was the target, but it's like once the sun comes up, your body changes or some weird shit like that. So it was just a lot. I had to check a lot of times, and I wasn't doing something that I was supposed to for one of these things. So it was like the sensation part. It was a lot. It was very stressful. I almost had a nervous breakdown because of other things too. It was just kind of all piled together. So that was really, really stressful. I have since stopped, but again, TMI, I will start that back up. Actually, I should probably do it now because obviously I don't want a child in my first year of marriage. So I don't know if that's obvious. It's obvious to me because I know my life circumstances, but I'm sure I'll talk about that in another video. This is more just to catch you guys up. So I'll leave that for another day. I also was, at the same time, if you ever checked my personal YouTube channel, I was doing internships. So I was working at Black Eye Films for a little bit. It was like a hot minute, like 2 weeks. And that was really just free labor. They moved locations for us to go. It started getting like, I just can't, because I really just needed to get a job at that time. But I was also working with Wonder Woman Tech, and that kind of became a volunteer thing. And then she really wanted me to stay long term, and I was only signing up for a 3-month internship. So I stayed through till like the end of May. And I started in November, so I did give more of my time, and I don't want to say anything bad. I won't even name her. It's a great organization, so like no bad thoughts or ill will towards them. It's just I kind of feel like I was signed up for something that I didn't agree to. I was the podcast editor, and I did have a lot of fun doing that. It's just compiling on with everything else I had. It was just too much. I didn't even have enough time to do my own podcast or YouTube videos and stuff. And so I just had personally, I guess I felt a little bitter, and I had to just be honest with myself. So again, it's not a reflection on them. It was more a reflection on me that I was overburdened with a lot of stuff. So I did get my job where I currently am. Yes, 3-month curse has been broken officially. I started, I signed on during the holidays, but I officially started January 3rd. And I'm still there. I have since gotten a merit raise and promotion, so I am officially a project manager now. I think last update I gave you guys, I was a project specialist, and I just wasn't happy with that name. But so things are going well there, and I'm sure that will be another episode. I can talk about certain things. I'm not going to share everything because, like non-disclosure agreements, that sort of thing. But so I was working full-time doing that. I was also contracted at a former job that I was working, and that took my time. And then, of course, I was volunteering with Wonder Woman Tech and doing these marriage courses. And so it was just a lot. It was a lot, and I was really stressed. So I did my former employment, the one I was contracting work, officially ended itself. So it was nice, clean cut. I helped them with their soiree, and then naturally just kind of, I was like, okay, cool, they don't really need me. I helped train one of their the new person who technically was like a replacement of me, because there were two people in between when I quit and this new person, but yeah, I'm nice, and so I helped train her, and was able to hand off what I was doing there. And then the podcast for Wonder Woman Tech actually just naturally stopped anyway. It was taking a lot of her time, and it didn't have a lot of payout, I guess you could say. It's a passion project, and I know firsthand because I had my own podcast that I did that with. So it was kind of like, okay, well, since you're not here to help with that, I'm just going to drop it. So I do feel a little guilty in that aspect, but again, it can't all be on my shoulders. I didn't sign up for that, and giving 10 plus hours a week for free, no offense, it was not something I could afford to do. So I was also doing an audiobook, which actually just finished mid-July, I guess, technically. So it's still it's going through their editing process, because it was split. So there is a male narrator and then me, the female narrator. So we did our respective genders narration, and then there was some chapters were narrated by a man. Most of the book was narrated by the main character, which was a woman, so I did a lot of it. And so I have not gotten paid for that because of how the contract was set up. I have a great relationship with the author, though, so we are going to change how that is structured, because this is, she's working on another book she'd love us to narrate. But the way that this contract was set up, it really wasn't going to pay us until the end. So hopefully I'll get, that couple thousand towards my wedding. But I haven't seen a penny of that. So again, like when money was an issue and I was doing all of this work and I wasn't seeing a financial payoff, like an immediate payoff, and it's like, okay, my savings are now dwindled because of this other stuff. It was really not a fun time for me. And it really sucks, because you'd think, oh, yeah, I know wedding is stressful, but everyone's like, oh, it's so fun doing the planning. And I'm like, not really. Well, half of it is like, we already decided, so there's not a lot of planning. It's like, we're doing this, these are the flowers, this is the, it's so, I guess because I work as a project manager, like I like to check those check boxes. So it's like, what kind of flowers do we want? We want these. Done. They're made out of wood, so they'll never go bad. So I bought them when I had the paycheck for it. So now they're sitting in the room waiting for my wedding day. I have my bouquet in hand, so I don't have to worry about, the fresh flowers not arriving in time. You know what I mean? So all the stuff that's like quintessential in those movies. So yeah. I was also doing The War Room, which has now since ended. It was a special offer from a voiceover coach. So I was doing like a kind of like a boot camp type of a thing. And it was fun, but it aligned with me realizing that my dream wouldn't come true. And so it was really kind of painful. And I had to just tell it, I was like, I can't do this anymore. So I was going to, and I'm still thinking about working with him in a broader sense of just kind of, for lack of a better word, being an influencer. I don't really like that terminology for me. I know some people hate the term. I don't hate the term, but to me, I don't think I'm an influencer. I would like to consider myself an entertainer. So I want to be an online entertainer, but those are usually nowadays called an influencer. So, kind of just having like my personality be, just like that, just entertaining you. Watch my YouTube channel and stuff like that. And it's got a lot of work to go. And of course, this gaming channel, I just love. It's just so much fun to do. It's cathartic. And so, if it grows, great. But this is 100% just like a hobby, a passion. I do it for fun. So I just want to see it grow because I like to see things succeed and I want to not be a failure. But in other terms, like I don't have a bigger plan for this really. So, yes, let's see. I also did, I volunteered for Read to Succeed. I dressed as Snow White and I read at, they were giving away books. It was like a book fair, and everyone got like free, like 5 free credits to get like a book for themselves and like all their family. It was like little kids and it was so cute. So I read stories to them. And then June hit. June was, going into it, I knew it was going to be madness because I was hoping the book narration would end, but we actually changed the sequence of how we did things. So the author was way more involved than I was anticipating, which is great. It's just not how it usually works. So so that was delayed. So Andre had an oral surgery, getting his wisdom teeth taken out. I think that was that one. And then, so I just was like almost done, but not quite done with the audiobook. We also did the Rocket Foundation Summit, which has had Vice President now. She's the presidential candidate, Kamala Harris. So I did a lot on that. I think from that is how I got my merit, because it was like, I did a lot. I did a lot for that. So it was a lot of long nights. It was just a lot. And it was intense, and you don't have time for yourself, let alone friends, let alone, YouTube. I also had a week-long trip to LA to again help with my job. I also have since June, I've also worked 2 other events. Well, one was like a photo shoot, so it was like an internal event. What else? So a lot of it. Oh yeah, so January was mostly Puppy Watch and Hogwarts Legacy. I just played that on the couch. And that kind of leads into what I had said before, like not playing the PlayStation 4. I didn't go up to what we call the media room, which is where we record this stuff. I didn't walk in there literally for a solid 6 months. The only exception would be occasionally I would come into my recording studio, which is where I am now, to do, gigs as they would come in, or like fun auditions, and obviously for the audiobook. But I didn't sit down at my desktop. I didn't play any, so it was just, it was just weird to not the kind of lifestyle that I already had, which I was already busy, but then adding on like this puppy watch has been insane. She's going to be 1 next month, and she's having kind of a regress right now, which sucks because it was just lining up to be like, oh, she's mature enough. She has the responsibilities to also be upstairs, maybe not be watched entirely like a hawk. And I don't know that she's quite ready for that, unfortunately. So, with this, I would like to post at least once a week. I would like to have just, one recording session, and we'll see how that goes. I can't always, it can't be a guarantee thing, but I'm going to try to post at least once a week. And my hope is that the start of 2025, I'll be able to get into more of a habit where I post almost every single day. I still have like choir rehearsal, so I can't like record and then post the next day, like every single day like that. So some things will have to be recorded in batches, just like I used to do. You guys never really noticed, probably. So yes, what else is on my thing here? Yep, so we've been asked to keep the name private, but my great niece was born March 5th, so very excited to see that. Also, some sad news: FellHarbor's dog Puff passed away May 22nd, which really, really sucked. And that also aligned with, we were going to Furry Week in Atlanta and MomoCon like right at the same time in May, so it was just a lot of mixed emotions, We also spent almost a full week with our parents, and had car problems after car problems. I've forgotten all of them now, but I had to replace my engine for $6,000. And then FellHarbor had to do something. Was it her brakes, or it was a radiator, which was like $1,000, and then her whole ass transmission, which she's working out right now. So she's still driving. Our father had I wouldn't call it an extra car, but you know what I mean. They have multiple vehicles, so he lent her his car while that's getting fixed because we had to leave her car down there visiting them. So it was just a mess. It was just a mess. We did drive up, or actually we flew up for Andre's family barbecue, and he got baptized, and then our plane got canceled or delayed 3 times and officially canceled. So we drove 14 hours down so that I could immediately turn around the next day and go to a client summit, which was scheduled after I'd already had this time off. It was, again, just stressful, just like a lot of why. You know, we just keep saying like, oh, it's an adventure, you know, and it's kind of stressful, to say the least. You know, it just kind of gets old. Where right now we are all done with like money. It just needs to stop. Can we just please afford, you know, food and gas and just live and stop having all these $8,000, you know, water main break earlier was it this year? Yeah, it was this year, wasn't it? It wasn't last fall. I can't remember now. No, I can't remember. I can't remember what month that was. Everything is mixing together. It was just really bad. That's all I remember. I did do a V-beam. Which is just like a little laser thingy, because I had this weird, what is it called? Cherry angioma or whatever on my upper lip, like next to my nose. And it was really bothering me. I thought it was a zit and it didn't go away for like a year and a half. So I said, hey, I hate seeing this in pictures. I always try to edit it out of my thumbnails and stuff, so you guys might not have noticed in this channel. You probably would have noticed in my Psypris channel because when you're closer up on my face, you can see it. So that was not cool, and I hated it, and I got it removed. But now, ironically, I have this blackhead on the opposite side of my face, like at the exact same spot, just the opposite side. And I'm really hoping that doesn't turn into a cherry angioma. But right now, is that not how you say it? Anyway, whatever. But right now, it's just a blackhead that I tried to pop, and it was like, nope, I'm a blackhead. And I was like, oh, cool, gross. I also did hip evaluation and rehab. That was my last note that I had, and I see that I have 15 minutes left. Because I saw how long this video was going to be, and I was like, okay, well, that's how long I have to talk and catch everybody up, right? Anyway, so earlier, I have been having problems with my lower back and my hip. And so I got a labral, what was it, laryngoscopy? I don't know. It was like one of those beaming things. Sorry, I got distracted with work stuff. So I got that fixed, and it did help a lot, but I still was having a lot of pain in my hip. So I went back, and they were like, can we see the incision? And I was like, it has nothing to do with that. But I told them like 5 times, like every single person I met with, I was like, no, write this in the thing. I'm seeing the doctor about something else, but it's still the same hip, you know, but it's just not the same thing. And so anyway, so he just like pretty much he just brushed me off, really, actually, because he was like, what is it? And I said, this is where the incision is, but it's not that, it's hurting up here. And he said, oh, that's not your hip because it's too high. It's the, there's a term for it. I didn't write that down. I'm not prepared. But anyway, it's the muscle. So I said, that's really fucking weird, because no one's ever said it was the muscle before. And I have like sciatica and stuff, you know. Anyway, so I did go to physical therapy. My insurance was paying, but then it started to get a little bit like I had to pay like $100 each time. Anyway, so I was just like, okay, I know now, you know, the stretches and stuff I can do. So it was really helping. So the past like week or so, I did something. I don't know if I slept on it funny or I pulled it or whatever. Anyway, so it's been hurting, but it hasn't been hurting recently because I've been able to do some. It really is. It's stretches and then trying to like, you know, make it stronger. So I still my lower back still tenses so much, and there doesn't seem to be a fix for it because it's like, okay, we'll walk. Okay, but when I walk, then it gets so tight, I can't even move my legs. Like it really, really hurts. And they're all like, just stretch it out. So I'm like, okay, so I walk and then I have to stop and stretch, like do yoga poses, I guess. That's kind of where I am right now with that. I also gained like another 10, 15 pounds, depends on the day. What you ask the scale. And so I am just really in a bad place, like mentally, about my physical being. Like, you know, my clothes are tight. I can tell my face looks bloated, you know, so I just feel like a slop, and it's not it's not fun, and that's why I haven't taken pictures, and I didn't want to record. You know, that was also a part of it, where it's like, no, I just look fat.
Robert?
You know, I started feeling really old. I got my hair dyed back to purple recently, so when you guys see the thumbnail for this, it's a new change. I did get my
So we're close.
employer's permission, and I got it done like
I'm tired,
a week or
Frank.
two ago. Yeah,
One last
right
big
after
push,
my birthday,
right?
Labor Day weekend, and so, you know, so obviously, so I'm
find
trying
Robert.
to, you know, watch what I eat and everything, but I keep falling into that. It's not that, like, I don't, like, eat, like, 12 servings, you know, that kind of thing. That I don't do that overeating, but I do emotionally eat. And it sucks when you are so mentally and emotionally exhausted. All you want is the comfort food. And so that's what's been happening, where we just have a really bad day. We just got bad news. I have to pay another $2,000 for, you know, whatever. And so it's like, well, instead of trying to cook, you know, grilled chicken and asparagus, why don't we just go get McDonald's? and that's what we've been doing. And when I go to McDonald's, I only get one meal, but that's still like 3,000 calories, you know? So it's been tough, you know, and I know I have only myself to blame, but it's, you know, yeah, it's just the truth of it, you know, just kind of coming back to here of like, well, why didn't I push? Well, because Cammie usually has to stay downstairs. One of us has to watch her down there. FellHarbor handles her more, you know, throughout the day, so that I get the evening watch, and so then I can't go upstairs to record because I have her, and she needs that attention. She goes out several times, you know, just in the night, you know, in 3 hours, she might go out like 6 times, you know, so it's just this kind of taking us away. And so we're both to that part where we are trying to get back into what life had been, you know. I think there's just a lot of changes, and a lot of it's good, like that, like marrying, you know, my best friend, you know, it's great, you know, that's happy news. But then it's the stress of, okay, booking the caterer, okay, where are we gonna go to here? And then like people have the weirdest questions, like they'll call me up and be like, what's the dress code, or where do we eat after the reception? I don't know. I gave you like, this is the address. This is where your hotel is. This is the area. Like, I'm not going to set up your after wedding dinner, you know, like it's a lot. It's a lot. And so I'm trying to make it a good thing. I just, at this time, it's like, I just want this year to be over. It's just been such a money hole, you know, like there's a time sink and a money hole going on. And I just feel like once the wedding is done, then that money can go back to like that. Like, I, you know, the $6,000 car engine, like, had that happened without this wedding prep? Sure, you know, because the thing is that we're trying to pay for the wedding without going into debt. And had I not had these other money issues, 100% that would have been the case. But with these other money issues, now it's balancing of, oh, well, I had this, you know, so it's, you know, at the end of the day, it's not going to be a lot. And I have money set aside in savings specifically to pay for this, you know, so I won't have debt. It'll just be like I have to pay back my savings, you know, just stressful stuff all around. And so then it's like, well, then now you have to go upstairs and like that. Like, I do want to entertain and I do enjoy these games just to play them, but I feel guilty of, you know, taking that time. And I think that's where it is. It's like that guilt of, you know, go have fun. Well, I'm too tired to have fun, you know, like it's exhausting. But I think we're getting there, you know, starting an eating plan. Most of the big decisions for the wedding have been made. We're making it through with all these financial issues. Cammie every day is getting one day older, right? So Yeah, so kind of circling back to the, this channel. Like I said, I do think I'll try to post once a week. I think I can get away and record, at least one session. And I'm really going to try to get back to it because I really do love it and I do miss it from my life. And again, I hope people can watch and enjoy. That's kind of why I'm here. I want to be an entertainer, as I said, and if I can't be full-time voice actress, well then I'll just focus on this other, sideways dream of content creator. And yeah, so it'd be nice to actually be able to do content creation, you know what I mean? So anyway, yeah, this was been a long this felt like a weird monologue, but not like controlled monologue. But I thought it was important to have that hey, catch you up where we are, because so often people just drop off and they just don't ever post again, and I don't want that to be the case. But life happens, and since this is just for fun, it's the first thing that gets tossed aside, just like my podcast. I just had to cut it out. I just didn't have enough time, but I am really excited because coming 2025, I would like to start recording all of the Metal Gear games, because I always say that I love that series, yet it's not on our channel. And so I'm just by now, now that Delta, not coming out yet, but people are talking about it, so I'd love to play Snake Eater so that when Delta comes out, I can play that, and see how it compares, that kind of thing. So, and then my Psypris channel, I am going to focus more on pop culture, yes, but I think more aligning video games so that it kind of marries happily here with Tier 2 works. So if you want to hear me talk about games, you go over there. If you want to watch me play those games that I talk about, you come here. So I hope that is going to be entertaining. Please do, I welcome comments of anything you'd like to see either here or, on my Psypris channel, or talk about, if anything I said piqued your interest and you're like, whoa, go back. What did you just say? And I'm sure I will cover some of this stuff because it's just sitting in my head. So I'm sure I'll talk about that. But now I'm trying to weasel in because I know there are some cut scenes. So I might trim this down, the gameplay, so that it fits perfectly. But I'm going to, I think, leave it here. And I hope to see you guys soon. I do anticipate the next time I record, I'm hoping will be tomorrow, Friday. Saturday, I'm getting engagement photos. FellHarbor already took great engagement photos for us, but this is it's part of our wedding photography package, and if we don't use it, we just are out that money. So we're like, okay, we'll just get a picture again. I wanted to do it with our dogs, but anyway, that has a longer story, so won't worry about that right now. But yeah, so I do hope at least I'll have the microphone set up. I mean, everything is ready. I can go ahead. It's just it's a mental thing. That's what I was going to say. Maybe I'll leave that for next video of just mentally getting back on camera. But I should at least have the mic. I think this will be the last one that I do a recording over, unless it doesn't work out, for some reason, a technical issue or something. But yeah, it doesn't feel as organic. And yeah, so that's that. Until next time, we'll pick this up after the drop. I messed that up, didn't I? It's been so long since I've done it. Whatever. See you guys later.
Locate the shooter.